Hello and welcome back to the Super Heavyweight YouTube channel, where in today's episode we will continue with the second season of the Fulham Master League being played on the difficulty mode of Superstar. So just to apologise, I did try to upload a video yesterday which was actually going through all the transfer dealings that I put together in order to build the squad. Unfortunately, it didn't get recorded. I'm really disappointed because I think it would have been a really good episode. Of course, half an hour of it was actually spent on purchasing players. So I'll just quickly tell you who I've actually purchased. As you can see, I've got a lot of players here. So I'll tell you what I did, what my thinking was. So of course, Ballotelli we got on a free transfer. Um, Victor Moses we ended up purchasing as well. I managed to get Harrit for about 36 million, I think it was. He was the attacking midfielder which was recommended by one of the super heavyweight subscribers. Ever Banega, the Argentinian who used to play for Sevilla, on a free transfer. Danny Welbeck, of course, the ex-Man United player as well, on a free transfer. Akinfenwa, who I purchased, and actually I played the first match against Leicester, which we drew 0-0. He made his debut and nearly scored in the last 5 minutes. So Harrit's also played. I played Isak up front for that game, but I think I'm going to revert back to playing Isak on the right wing as a forward and playing Balotelli as a centre forward. We also signed Jack Wilshere on a free transfer. Nathaniel Klein, the right back, who used to play for Liverpool. Then we also signed Shinji Kagawa, who used to play for Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund, on a free transfer. Ki Sung-young, who used to play for Swansea and Newcastle, the South Korean player and the Japanese player. So that, of course, will help us in the Asian market to try and get some more fans. Then what I did also, I signed some youngsters from the youth team, just so that I have a few squad players, and possibly, because some of them have a high release fee, I can possibly sell them on. So I've transfer listed all of them, but I think I might take them off the transfer list and probably just give them a few matches here and there to help them. So look, we've got a 90 rated. Of course, I want to try and bring in Harrit, possibly either as a right wing forward or as a replacement, or in the position of he can actually play there as a centre midfielder as well, so that's good to know. And of course, I've got Ever Banega, Jack Wilshere, so we've got lots and lots of players. We also had an offer for Upamecano, and I'm just deliberating as to whether to accept. Of course, Ozil's not going nowhere, being a super heavyweight. Guy Medell's not going anywhere as well, or Gary Medel, I'm not sure what his name is, the Chilean. He can play as a centre back as well, so he's my fourth choice centre back. But Upamecano, we've received a £56 million bid for him, and we only bought him for, I think, 25-30 million pounds. So we've put open to high offers. He's 84 rated now with Kimpembe, so it's just whether we accept that offer and then we end up purchasing a cheaper centre back, and of course Saliba comes in, or do we keep him? So I think I'm probably going to keep him for another season, or at least until the January transfer window. And of course, then we'll look to see as to what happens. So I just want to see if I can renew Areola's contract, 52,000. I think we can put it up to 55. It shouldn't really be an issue. So I'll just go in there, and negotiations are underway. I've pretty much given everyone else a new contract, so you could have a look at all the players. They all have new contracts. So some of the new boys, someone like Sessegnon, I've increased his contract for 5 years, and his release fees going up, etc., and so forth. So we've done that for pretty much everybody. So if a team does come in for them, it gives us a lot of money. So what I'll do is, if we do sell Upamecano, I do have some possible options. One of them would be, so if I just go to the release fees, Sane would be one that I'd be interested in. Rogani we tried to sign before, but I probably won't go to him. The other one is Samaro, Kier, or probably Musacchio. I did look at, as one of the other super heavyweight subscribers mentioned, about Klosterman from the same team, Red Leipzig, RB Leipzig, the same team that Upamecano's come from. But I'm quietly confident that I'll actually get 66 million for Upamecano. So I'm just going to keep him most likely. But what I will do is, well, I can't buy anybody as of this moment anyway. So maybe if worse comes to worse, try and bring in there. But what I will do, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to bid for a few centre backs just to see whether we can get them in. So I'll go for Sane. He is a Senegalese international, plays alongside Koulibaly. So let's just see if we can try and get him in there, which I don't think we will, but he's massive. He's a tank, to be honest. 196. So obviously alongside Kimpembe. Kier would be another one. So actually I'll go for Mustachio for now, being an 80 rated defender. So we could just pay the release clause out, give him a 2-year contract. Not impressed with the wages, 45,000. So we're waiting for an official response. And just to be on the safe side, I need some experience, so we'll go for Kier at 32. And we have got some very old players, so they could be a bit leggy. But as I said, it's all about the experience possibly coming into the club, along with a lot of the young players that we have. And lastly, I'll actually end up going and doing... do I go with... I'll go with Samaro, to be honest, just because he's a cheaper option. So we could go with the full amount, and he's a lot cheaper as well, so we can try that, see what happens. So at least we've covered our back. So in case I decide to get rid of Upamecano, so we'll just see what happens. As I said, I'm very happy with the squad. I hope you're happy. I did try to look at other players such as Greenwood, Ribery, etc. I didn't sign, as somebody mentioned, about Ben Arthur. I mean, I'm a big fan of Ben Arthur's, to be honest, and he's one player that I probably would have loved to have signed. But I just felt that with Ben Arthur, it would just have been a case of probably just he was too old. He was at 34 years old. I mean, what a player. I mean, I've got Sami Nasri also as a shortlisted player. However, I also think that he's slightly too old. But it was just a case of if I had some money in the salary budget, another 10,000, I could have signed either one of them. So I just thought I'd love to have played with Sami Nasri. I remember that time with him, Karim Benzema, and Frank Ribery were in the French team. I think it was for the Euros. They played really, really well, and so I thought we'd do that. But very happy with the team. So we drew the first match 0-0 with Leicester City. Again, I think it was just the first match. And also, I forgot to mention, fan, let me careful, he's on the fence, doesn't want to fall over. But we've also agreed with the chairman that we're actually going for Champions League, a Champions League spot. At one point, I thought that we were in with a chance, but the last few games, unfortunately, it was such that we didn't really play to our full potential, and we ended up losing all 4 games. Oh, that's a poor pass there, so just got to be careful. Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Let's get Ballotelli with a touch. Super Mario. Oh, that's a great cross in there. That's good football already. So, as I was saying, the chairman has asked us to get a Champions League spot, so that's what we're going to try and do. Of course, I'm really happy that I got Adebayo, Akinfenwa. I'm a big fan of his, and he's definitely a super heavyweight, not just as a player. Oh, Hamza Chowdhury. Can he get a good cross in there? He can, but no one's in the box, so that's a good ball there to Isak. We did try to play Isak up front, and that's Callum Hudson-Odoi. Not quite there, but again, we've started off the game really positive. Kimpembe there to Upamecano. So Champions League place is what we're looking at. And I think now we've got the squad to not only do well in the league, but also I feel that there's no reason why we can't do well in Europe, because we are in Europe. Managed to get that on the last day of the season, which was a phenomenal achievement. Well, that's good covering there. Kimpembe and Upamecano, both of them. Got both two centre backs out against Burnley. Really, really good in the air. Hamza Chowdhury. Again. Hudson Odoi. What a player. He's tried to bend one in the corner. Very close, I think. But again, a good run. And I think he's going to have a brilliant season. Look at the pace there. Just carried on going. Maybe started off too wide and couldn't quite get it back on target. I used the R2 button there with the curl. But a great start. And I think we're playing some really good football. Of course, Balotelli's going to take some time to get settled. And while I was doing the transfers, I was going over players and where they've played, and I was just mentioning about Balotelli. We've got to be careful here. I was just mentioning about Balotelli, and if you don't know, Balotelli is currently playing for a team called AC Monza, and if you do get a chance, do read up about him. But AC Monza are the team owned by the former Italian president Silvio Berlusconi, and of course he used to own AC Milan. Oh, Balotelli with the shot. Sorry, it nearly got on the score sheet. And also Kevin Prince Boateng also plays for AC Monza. So they are essentially, they were a League 2 team. I think they're in League 1 now, or were they a League 1 team? Berlusconi and his right-hand man Adrian Galliano, who were instrumental in AC Milan at one point being the best team in Europe. So AC Milan, one of the best teams around. When they were successful, it was Berlusconi and Adrian Galliano. I said right. They were the owner and chairman at the time. So they've gone and purchased AC Milan. I think it's very close to Milan, or thereabouts. Do tell me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But they've gone and purchased Monza, and they've called it AC Monza in with regards similar to how AC Milan is named. Balotelli, not quite. So they've named it AC Monza after AC Milan, as a homage, you could say. And of course, what they're doing is they've just gained promotion. So they've gained promotion, and they are now one league below the Serie A, I believe, or somewhere there or thereabouts. And of course, some of the players that they can call upon are someone like Balotelli, as I said, Kevin Prince Boateng. So we do have a read. It's a really interesting story, and of course, it reminds me of something that I want to do, which is to try and get my own football team as well, to use it as a social project. But we see what happens. So hence the reason why I thought over lockdown start this challenge. Oh, that's a great pass. Did you see that? And that's a great cross. I think that's the first goal of the game. No, not quite. Oh, Ruben Loftus-Cheek getting in some really good positions. And again, Burnley living dangerously, but we've had all this game away from home. And the one other thing that I wanted to bring to your attention is finally I've managed to get rid of the commentary. Oh, is that Balotelli's hit the bar? He could have had 2 goals already on his debut. I mean, he did make his debut against Leicester, but he came off the bench along with Akin Fenwa. But Balotelli did play on the right wing. And sometimes I think with players like him, you know, you just need to be not as strict and just let them play. I mean, I remember that one game against England where, I mean, he scored an absolute brilliant thunderbolt of a strike. Against England. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I think it was in the Euros, where Italy then ended up beating, I think, England 2-0. Balotelli scored a thunderous goal, takes his top off, shows his muscles, of course, because he did get a bit of a hard time in the press here in England. But we're playing really well. We've just got to make sure that we turn this dominance. Oh, it's a foul actually. We turned his dominance into a goal, which we haven't as of yet done. And we couldn't score against Leicester. Of course, it's going to be difficult because even last season we weren't able to score a goal. And Hudson-Odoi, good save. And that was a similar. Well, Akinfenwa did have a chance where the keeper made a really good save, and that was in the last few minutes. So of the game against Leicester, which unfortunately didn't get recorded, and that would have been a really good episode because you would have gone about and saw how I go around purchasing or identifying targets for Marseille. Maybe if you want, let me know in the comment section if you want me to do an episode on how to buy players for whether you're a top team or a mid-table team or a lower team, lower position team like Fulham. Do let me know and we can actually put that in the we can do a video for that, so just let me know and I won't hesitate to do that. But again, we've dominated this game. No commentary, so I'm hoping that this time the commentary doesn't appear, and that'll make our lives a lot easier. Isak gets around the player. Ken, this time we get not the best cross. And again, really got to try and get Ozil in the team. In the game, sorry, more. Had a quiet game against Leicester, and of course has had a quiet game so far. I suppose many teams are now going to be a bit more familiar with our style of play and probably close down Ozil in the hope that that will stop us from maybe attacking, which of course to an extent it will, but we've got such good players now. Hudson-Odoi, but here's Ozil on the ball. Hamza Chowdhury gets that ball to Isak, and Aina, oh, he can't quite get the shot off. What's happening? I've not got a clue, but it just seems to be pinball in the box. Kano, good defending. Our referee has got to be a foul. He's pulling him back. Again, Burnley are able to get the ball away. That's a good play there by the striker. Again, Upamecano, who we've received a bid for. Can we get that ball out there to Isa? That's a great ball there by Areola, who's been messing Ozil to. Oh, I couldn't quite get that through to Ballotelli. But again, great build up. All that stemmed from the goalkeeper. Gets that ball out there. Oh, that's good defending. Oh, he's offside, Callum Hudson-Odoi. I should have probably taken the shot, but I just thought maybe even if I took the shot, Ballotelli was there. This time round in this season, of course, we've got a lot more substitutes that we can possibly bring on. But I'm just going to stick with this team for now. Obviously, we've got the star player, Harrit, who is the best overall rated player now as well. What's happened there? Good defending there by Kimpembe. What I might do is actually make the substitution. Let's just see what's happened there. The striker Wood obviously uses his strength. Very good. He's currently injured at the moment, I think. Joe just coming back. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make a substitution, and I'll probably take off Ballotelli. He's had a really good game. I'll bring on Harrit. I'll bring on Ever Banega, just with his experience of being better on the ball. And of course, we'll probably leave some of the other players for now. We'll just see how that goes. So Harrit, the Moroccan, who was recommended to us. And we've got Danny Welbeck, who's currently off form. So we've got Moses or Sessegnon and maybe Saliba. Of course, some of the games in Europe as well that we'll have. So we'll obviously need to use the squad. And for Europe, I expect to give some of the other players a run out. So, of course, just got to be careful here with the short corner. And it's been overhit. But we managed to get Harrit on, as you can see, with the blonde hair and the green boots. So, of course, his bit of extra quality. He did start the game against us and played really well. And there was one cross that he had for for Callum Hudson-Odoi. Oops, we've given the ball away. Just got to be careful not to be too overconfident. Burnley are very dangerous, especially from those positions. That's the ball I was actually looking to play at Mesut Ozil. Comes across. Got to be careful here. I thought the referee was a Burnley player there, to be honest. Ozil looks there for Callum Hudson-Odoi. What a pass! Gets the ball into the box, and that could be the goal. I'm so awful at heading in this game. I'm not sure whether it works on timing, on power. It just feels to be. It never seems to be a bullet header. But what a pass there by Mesut Ozil. Well played there by Callum Hudson-Odoi. And Isak has really shone when he's played up front. I mean, the good thing about Isak, as soon as we get the ball, I mean, he's off. So more balls over the top for someone like Isak. I just want to check whether he is actually playing up front. Yes, he is. Because at the moment, as I said, he is off. So the moment he gets the ball, that would have been a really good cross in there. Ozil running onto that. Going to try and get Banega in there. Just get him on the ball, just to pick some passes. Of course, he's slightly different to, I suppose, someone like a Loftus-Cheek, who's slightly more running with his physicality. Some good play. That's great football there. So good pass there by Loftus-Cheek. Callum Hudson-Odoi, and a great intervention there by the Burnley player Rodriguez. J. Rodriguez is on. How is that not a corner? Maybe it came off our player. Again, this is where they've had a bit of fortune, where they're able to. That's too easy, I think, from our part. Banega out there to try and tackle the Burnley player. And Hamza Chowdhury was there. Just got to be careful. That's a header that you probably expect the Burnley player to do better. Banega's out there. Chowdhury's come over to support him and has just missed a tackle. Maybe goes through his legs, but to be honest, it was the striker going away from goal and had to generate all the power. So we've just got to be careful. Just want to make sure that we don't end up losing this game. Of course, we are looking for a Champions League spot, so Mesut Ozil always being dispossessed and then being knocked over. And I like the way the Burnley players do the give and go. Kimpembe, can he use his pace? Good recovery and Upamecano. The two French defenders are able to come back. I mean, that is great football. Two great passes there. Sorry, I'm a bit quiet there. I'm just trying to think, could we actually make something of this? And Burnley do well. Yeah, that's probably the end of the game. 0-0. We still haven't scored a goal. But I thought that last passage of play showed the quality that we have on the side. Kimpembe with a long pass to Mesut Ozil. Mesut Ozil with the trademark long pass out there to Harrit. And just couldn't get on the end of it. So my other option is, I think defensively we will be sound when you've got two top-class, world-class defenders. But should I sell Upamecano and then bring on Muriel as another striker? But I think we've got too many strikers at the club, so I think we just leave it at that. And we're currently in 15th position with 2 points. We haven't conceded, but we haven't scored. So, as I said, I mean, one win can change all of that. So, again, that's where we're at the moment. So, I do apologise. Of course, we've got the last day of the transfer window. I will just see that out. I do apologise because I had the first episode. So, Sane's declined, Musacchio's declined, Kier's declined, and Samaro's declined. So, what we'll just have to do is just stick with let's just give the keeper his contract. So let's just make sure we accept the contract renewal and not the sell to Wolves. So we won't accept the offer for, and that in terms might be better for us in the long run, because we could potentially get 66 million, especially when we play in Europe. Everyone else is rejected. Probably want more money, understandably so. Of course, we can't sign Samir Nasri. Of course, he's the same age as Ben Arfa, so it was just a case of going with one of them. So we'll just continue, carry on. We won't sell anybody, and we'll just see whether we can get anybody out. So what I also did was all the young players that I've purchased. Unfortunately, I ended up putting them all on. So Texera, for example, I put them on the transfer list, but I'll probably just take them off. I think they're probably better placed on the loan list, so that's what I'll quickly just do that now. One of the reasons I signed them was because I did notice that many of them had a high release fee, and so what that would probably do for the club, if we were to sell them and get the maximum amount of money, I suppose, we could end up actually probably end up maybe getting a bit of money from. So that's what I did. Of course, I didn't sign any of the regen players, so I just wanted to try and that's one of the issues with PES, I suppose, with the regen players. But I suppose you can't do anything without the licenses, which is the advantage I think FIFA has. However, the gameplay of PES, I just love it. It just reminds me of realistic football. So, as I said, we've got to get a Champions League spot, and we've got to try and get some wins under our belt. So let's just get through this transfer window. Let's just see if anything happens, which I don't think it will, because a lot of offers have already taken place, of which I haven't accepted any. For example, West Ham for Mesut Ozil, but of course our talisman's going nowhere. And of course I'm looking forward to some of these games in Europe. So we've got the Europa League as our next game, and of course do look out for that one. So Rene Adelaide, who used to play for Arsenal, has joined Watford. I'm not quite sure who that team is for the team that we're playing in Europe, but I'm looking forward to that. And of course that's where we'll play a lot of the new players that we have, and of course we'll play the new centre-back pairing of Saliba and Medel. So again, hasn't really been much of a transfer window because I've done all the signings over the summer. I'm actually quite happy with the amount of work we've done, but of course embedding all of these players is going to take a lot of time. So they're just trying to get the chemistry. So that's literally it. Of course, some of the transfers haven't happened. So of course we haven't managed to sell or offload any players. And I think it's probably best that we keep the crux of the players that we have at our disposal that did so well last year. And of course, hopefully we can then go on to push on. So Diego Maradona, Mesut Ozil, very happy. You're poised to face your first test in the UEFA Europa League group stage against the Portuguese side. We should win, but I'm going to say it's just one match. I don't want to put too much pressure on this. First match is always important, but every match is when 3 points are on the line, which is important. What is important is not letting the occasion get to you. So I mean, that's a who's who. Could that be the thumbnail? So I just want to thank everyone for their support. Of course, the manager's office. We also in the previous episode, which didn't get recorded, we were offered some international. So Kagawa's gone down to 74, but he'll get a game, and hopefully he'll improve that back up again. But we did have. So Mesut Ozil is Real Betis are interested in him. Of course, a few negotiations failed. So of course, what we'll do is we will look for players moving forward. The scouting system, we did have some players, for example, Pablo Sarabia, who, if we did try to sign him, again, that was one player that looked at 17 million and 63,000, which we would have had we sold Upamecano, but we're just going to have to leave it like that for now. So a few of the players that we could have done. So we've got the next match, which is the UEFA Europa League. So what we'll do is we'll end the episode now. Just want to thank you for your support, because the hours are going through the roof, and Harry Kane's going to PSG. No surprise there, with Pochettino at the helm. So just want to thank you for your support. The subscribers are going up, and so are the watch hours. So I do really appreciate that. Thank you very much, and keep on supporting the channel by spreading the word amongst your friends and family. So take care of yourselves, and remember, we're changing the game and taking over.